Young leaders in KwaZulu-Natal are gathering in Durban today. They are attending the Youth Leadership Summit hosted by the Youth Managers Foundation. To tell us a little bit more about this, we've got Mabutho Mthembu from the foundation, and he's in our Durban studios, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. There's the beautiful Durban sea and stadium behind you. Good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Good morning.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I mean, you were with us exactly a year ago when your foundation was hosting a seminar on transformational leadership right here in Johannesburg. How have you advanced since then?
We have made very good progress since then. We have expanded to the province of KwaZulu-Natal, where we have partnered with 5 schools in this province. In Gauteng, we have increased our partner schools from 4 to 10. And we recently just partnered with Transnet Foundation specifically for this expansion that we are launching today through our first KZN Youth Leadership Summit in KZN. So it's been very great and the progress has been very impressive.
Oh, fantastic. Well, congratulations to you. I mean, last year you spoke to us about identifying youth leaders in different schools and finding them, I would imagine, in Johannesburg. But now that you're branching out, this can happen all over. How many leaders have you actually managed to identify, and what criteria did you use to choose them?
I mean, Lee, and I mean, as a point of departure, you would agree with me that for every nation to thrive, it requires strong leadership. And as Youth Managers Foundation, we believe that leadership should be identified and nurtured at a very young age. So currently, we have partnered with 5 schools in this province. There are 2 schools at Eshowe region. There are 3 schools in Durban, where we have identified young leaders from grade 8 to grade 12. And the criteria basically that we use is to merge a combination of leaders with a negative influence at the schools and leaders with a positive influence, because these leaders have a responsibility to drive positive changes within their schools. Now, for instance, we highly believe that the schools, the responsibility to address the social ills that threaten to cripple the lives of young people should not be taken solely by the educators and the parents, but young people need to take ownership and responsibility in addressing the issues that threaten to cripple their lives and their schools. So it is on that basis then that we have selected our leaders that will be converging at the Durban ICC today for a youth leadership summit, which is themed inspirational leadership, and we will be running our program post the summit at the 5 schools, but there will be plenty more schools will be invited, and that gives us an opportunity to plant a seed, especially in those schools in the remote areas where we aim to actually get to in a very near future.
I think what's wonderful about the organization is that you try to integrate students from all walks of life, whether it be affluent students or very, very poor students. Why do you find that this is necessary?
This is very necessary, Leanne, because, I mean, in this country, there are structural challenges that face a number of young people, especially in the rural areas. Now, those structural challenges then become a barrier for these young people to thrive and to unleash their true potential. Now, it is important that you bridge that gap at a very young age, because what you experience is that most of these young people still are faced with lack of self-belief, despondency, lack of self-confidence, and so forth, because of the circumstances that surround them. So it is on that basis that to instill these very, very important qualities that will help them in shaping their lives, you also sort of push that integration with young leaders from other affluent schools, so that can be a platform for them to actually share ideas and actually start to actually also gaining the momentum and the energy that they require for them to be great leaders.
Yeah. Just very quickly, Mabutho, we're running out of time. What is on the agenda for the summit in Durban?
On the agenda today, we've got approximately 220 young leaders from about 30 schools, both affluent schools and disadvantaged schools. We will have professionals. KPMG Foundation and Transnet Foundation has made available professionals across professional disciplines who will be motivating, who will be inspiring and coaching these young leaders throughout the summit. We have leadership activities that we will be running at the Leadership Summit. There will be industry leaders, which will participate in panel discussions to discuss very important topical issues facing young people. And these will happen between young leaders and industry leaders across different industries. And we've got other government officials will also be attending the summit just to share the message of inspirational leadership to these young leaders. So it's quite a packed day. We're starting at 9 and it finishes at 4:30 in the afternoon. And we expect to be a very robust and very interactive, but a very productive day for both ourselves and young leaders.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. And perhaps next year this time, we're going to be speaking to you from a completely different location as you host another youth summit somewhere else in the country. So there we go, a young, passionate guy who's doing such wonderful things when it comes to youth leadership and emphasizing the need for great leaders here in South Africa. And that's exactly what he's doing at this Youth Leadership Summit that's hosted by the Youth Managers Foundation. And Mabutho Mthembu is from the foundation, and he's talking to us about that.